Hello and welcome to another episode of Through Lynn's Lens. I am your host, Lynn, and I'm sharing the way I see the word and the world. So today I want to talk about that I am creative. So this is a realization that I recently discovered, and it was by way of my life coach. So I'm a life coach, but I also have a life coach who is helping me and assisting me and just continuing to, walk out this life the best way I can and helping me to just recognize some things about myself that I was not privy to prior to our coaching sessions. And so one of the things that really was revealed within the last few weeks is that I am creative. Like I'm a creator of content, of new things, and I just never really have owned that. I think when I hear the word creative, I think about it's more so about visual arts, and not so much as just having an idea and or being a writer or being an author, things of that. I see those more so as like professions, but not looking at it as a core of, it takes someone who is creative, or the term someone is a creative, to be able to execute, ideas. And so I I feel at this point in time that me being able to own that, to number one, acknowledge it and to own it as a being part of who I am, is going to help me to continue to share ideas, to share unique thoughts or ideas or opportunities with you all so that I can, just continue to live out the life that I've been called to live, and to also help you to be able to do that same thing. And one thing that occurred to me in the scripture, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." So notice there, the who here is God. And what did he do? He created. And notice God, he created what? Heavens and earth. So if God, and not if, as we see here, he did. So since God created the entire world, the entire universe, everything in it, it does make sense that we as his children, his creations, we are creative as well. We can create things. And so one analogy that comes to mind, so I've been looking at this particular medical show on Netflix. And one thing that I'm just always in awe about, of all of the trauma cases that they receive in the emergency department, one of the things that I'm always in awe about is the transplant cases, the organ transplant cases, because it's always been amazing to me, how a deceased person can give the gift of life so, that someone else can live and use that organ. And just thinking about that, I'm like, wow, like I know there's like a typical thing that happens for, people who are organ donors and they pass, and that's like just a given that they're going to have their bodies harvested with those organs and they're going to be distributed to the various people who need them. Um, but let's take a, just take a moment to think. I don't know who the person is who had the idea to test out organ transplants, or that process, but I do have an idea that whoever that person was, they probably were looked at as being like, I don't know about that. You may be thinking too far out the box on that one. But I believe that God placed that idea in that person's head, in their heart, and to move forward with the idea of saving a life. through organ transplant. And I believe in that same way that God has implanted or he has planted that seed of an idea, whether it's a business venture, whether it's a ministry opportunity, whether it's just an idea to be, create a product or service for people. I believe that all good ideas that are in alignment with the will of God, I believe they come from God. And in that same way that God created the heavens and the earth, that he's given us that same ability through our spiritual DNA, our connection with him, to be creators as well. And so I want you to think about I want you to think about that one thing that's been pressed upon your heart, or that one idea that you just continue, it's like in the back of your head, but that it's something that you need to work on and to get it out. Just as God is a spirit, our thoughts and ideas, there are things that we can't actually touch. Like you can't touch a thought. You can't touch an idea. They're intangible. And so they have to be manifested and birthed out in the physical, natural world in which we live. And so I believe that's how ideas, they go from being an idea to actually being implemented into something tangible, something that we can touch, something that we can see, because we make the decision to take a hold of that idea and to trust God he is the one who gives the idea, and we trust him through the process to make it come to pass, to bring it into fruition. And so I want you to do that. Think about that one thing. And then I want you to begin to seek God, praying to God, seeking his direction for the next steps in helping that to come forth. And I believe truly within my heart that when it is brought forth, when it comes to pass, when it is birthed out, it will be a blessing to those in which it was created for. Because the idea is not for us. The creator is not for us. It's for all those who it can benefit, who it can be a blessing to. So keep that in mind as you continue to seek God on the next steps with bringing that idea or that opportunity to pass. Think about the people who it's meant to bless. And you are simply the vessel, the creative vessel that God has chosen to bring forth. I hope that today's podcast episode has been a blessing to you, that it has stirred you up to be the creator that you were created to be. And until next time, you have an awesome, blessed day. Thank you again for listening to Through Lynn's Lens.